my friends. Okay, this is the second video in my starting the school year series. I have my kindergartner's work that I already posted. That was up a while ago, so I will put it in the eye in the sky if you're curious about what we're doing for my kindergartner. This video will be for my first grader, and then I will have my fourth grader's work come in a future video. So just stay tuned for any of that content if you're curious about what curriculum I've picked for my other two students. This is not a comprehensive list of everything that we're doing for our school year. I am going to be organizing our school year a little bit differently than I have in the past. So we are doing family studies at the start of our school day, which will include some of those elective studies. And so as we kind of go through the school year, I will of course talk about those things, but also know that I will have a family curriculum, I guess I'll call it, video that will come out separately, just of everything that I'm covering with all three of my children in their different levels and how I'm going to kind of juggle all of that. So with that being said, then we'll just jump into what I'm going to be doing here with my first grader. Okay, so one last little tidbit by way of introduction. Part of the way that I've organized our school year this year is I've only organized it in 6 or 7 week chunks. And then at the end of that time frame, then I'm gonna collect new materials, find new unit studies, just kind of hop around a little bit before we start the next chunk of school. And I've done that just because we're doing school differently this year than we've ever done in any of our previous years. So you'll want to stay tuned for that, and then new videos will come out as I organize those curriculum materials and what I've picked. What I have here today is going to be her main desk work, the stuff that she'll do at the desk that will cover, kind of hit those skill points that I feel need to be done out of a book. So, and of course, this isn't set in stone the way curriculum always runs. Sometimes we just find that something doesn't work, and something I'm super excited about at the beginning of the school year doesn't last even a couple of weeks. So I'm hopeful that I've picked some good stuff this year, but I think that only one thing I'm redoing from previous years, or my first student. So anyway, let's just jump into it. So first and foremost is our character studies. So we are going to be having a devotional as a part of family school, and it will include character studies this year. And the character studies that I've picked is, there are these little booklets. They're created by IBLP. And I have to say this disclaimer in all my videos because it always creates some kind of conversation. I am not affiliated with IBLP, and this is the only curriculum that I will be using as a foundation to teach the characteristics that Christ had and what I hope my children will adopt. In each of them, I have gone through each of the pages, and I've used other resources and stories and pictures and all that kind of stuff. And that's what this page is I've just kind of broken down those different things that I'm going to be having my kids do. Character First Education, which I believe is an offshoot of the same company. I only say that because the character qualities are the same, but maybe they're different. I'm not sure, but they have a little animal story that goes with it, and they have poems and songs that you can do with your kids. And so we're going to be intermixing those. I got this off of that website. Now, when I very first found Character First Education, I don't know the website. Oh, characterfirsted.com. Everything that they had on their website was free. They've since changed it. Now that was 2 years ago. So when I went back today, when I was planning all of this, it's not free anymore. You can create a free account, and a few things are free, but they do encourage you to purchase kits or each character quality independently if you want to do that. So again, which is one reason why I think that these are connected. I'm assuming that this is for a younger age group, and these are the older age group. I didn't know that when I found this. I just was excited about it, and so I went ahead and bought them. So I'm incorporating these with it. That's just a long way to to say that. But I then searched Pinterest and other YouTube videos and tried to find either crafts or stories or printables or something that would go with the character trait. So the first 6 weeks we're doing attentiveness, So anyway, that is what we're going to be doing for character qualities, and it goes across the board for all of my students. For math this year, we're going to be doing 2 things, and I left one of them behind here. So for the first part of the year, and it's not going to be a full 6 weeks because we're not doing the full book, but I'm going to be doing this Carson DeLosa interactive math, and this is level K, and I'm doing this kind of as like an introduction / review for what she has done in the past. My summer studies / homeschool did not go at all the way that I had hoped, which is okay. But so we're going to have to do some review and just like pick up some of that summer slide that we may have experienced. I don't know. My summer weeks are not as long as the public school break, but anyway, so we are going to be doing probably about maybe half of this book. And this is an interactive notebook. So it's all like cut and paste. I don't know if you've seen these before, but so here we're comparing numbers 1 to 10. This is like a little spinner activity. So I will have to like go to my copy machine and copy all of these pages. If you've been around for a minute, you know I can't be bothered with making copies, but I do like this book, and they print on the back for the other instructions, so it's kind of a necessity for me to do that. This is Carson DeLosa. Check my description box below, and I will link any content or stuff that I can find for you. Anyway, so that'll be the first several weeks of the school year. This is an example. I printed this. This is one I printed out. But anyway, then the remainder of her school year, I'm going to go to my tried and true Horizons. I already have it all ripped out because I actually purchased this for her last year. And as the year progressed, I realized that it really was just too much for her. So we switched gears and did a Becca. And so now we're back, and I'm going to pick this up again. We're going to pick up on lesson number 17. And she's had a lot more practice with those numbers and adding 2-digit numbers, which is where I feel like we kind of got lost last year. And then the clock, she's a lot more familiar with that. I felt like Becca approached it in a less aggressive way. And so some of those concepts she was able to master better than I felt like Horizons did here for level 1. So this is level 1. We're starting on lesson 17. And then I'm just gonna, put these in her work box as we go through the weeks. So that covers math, Carson DeLosa, and Horizons. All right. For language, this comes in a couple of pieces, 2 of which I don't have, so I'm just going to tell you. So for spelling, I'm going to do BJU Press spelling, and I'm doing that with my 4th grader as well. So when I get that resource, then I will do just a little like look-see-loo. If you guys are interested in that, then you can find that video when I get it. But it was on back order, so I'm hoping to be getting it by the end of this month. Anyway, so she's going to do that. BJU Press spelling is your typical, here is your spelling list. Here's 4 work pages of activities. Now let's see if you've mastered those. So it's just a very straightforward memorization program. So she will do 1 of those pages per day. And then we're also going to be doing spelling UC. And I went back and forth about whether or not I was going to try it, but I decided to go ahead and try it. Especially since my 2nd child here is going into the 1st grade and kind of coming out of kindergarten and reading so much more. I just want to see if we can hit those phonic sounds a little bit more than I felt like we were hitting them back when we did my 1st child. And we struggle with spelling still with him. So, and that's a story for another day. So those are going to be that. We are also doing these. So this is the Abeka program, and I've picked up language 1 and then the letters and sounds seat work. And these are just going to be 1 page per day. And these do a pretty good job at hitting those phonic sounds, practicing blends and vowel sounds and how those all kind of go together. There is a little bit of color in these workbooks. I love that. And I also loved that this like writing section, some of the lessons just have some handwriting, shows her the cursive. Now I am going to have her write in print, but I love that she's going to start being introduced visually to a cursive format so that when I go to introduce her or have her start writing in cursive, then it's not going to be a foreign font for her, right? So I kind of love that they did that. It was unexpected, but we have that. So anyway, this is the language book, and it's going to cover grammar, creative writing, and reading comprehension. And then letters and sounds really is hitting those phonic sounds again. So we have, again, just more color pages and matching up the pictures to the sounds. It's just more phonic practice or phonetic practice. So I have both of these, and she will do 1 page per day. So that will cover spelling, phonics, and then language arts, I guess, grammar. And then on top of that, and I'll drop this in here even though it's part of our family school video, I have picked up the Little House in the Big Woods. We have the whole series, but this really is for her, and it's geared toward her. My other 2 kids are going to do it with us, and I've kind of manipulated the activities and whatnot. But what I have found in our homeschool life, at least, is that my older kid just loves to participate in even what the younger ones are doing. And the younger ones, even though it may be a little bit too many fine motor skills or just overall more advanced, they still love to be a part of it. So I'm just kind of creating it for everybody. So I made this unit study. This is Little House in the Big Woods. And it has a lot of different activities, whether it's in language arts, we're going to be journaling a little bit here and there. And then there's a bunch of activities. We read stuff. So there's a lot of reading comprehension, like, you know, covered wagons and what have you when they move. Anyway, so, and then just other fun activities with that. So this is really built for her, and it really is a part of her curriculum. I did a whole video about this, and then I haven't figured out how to, like, in that video I said, well, like, oh, maybe I'll figure out how to, like, make it public so that if you wanted it, you could have it on my shop, but I haven't done that yet. So I've been a little busy with other things. Okay. So that's that. So we have math and language arts, character studies. For history, I was really excited. I am a history teacher at heart. I taught history when I was in high school. So anytime we come to the social studies aspect of teaching, I always just feel like really excited, even though I know that sometimes, like, some school levels don't integrate it as a part of their studies. I just really love it. So we are doing heritage studies again. I did this with my son, and when I did it, I created like a whole lesson walkthrough with a bunch of other stuff. So this is part of that, and I have a bunch of other things. We have lap books that we're gonna make. I have little flipping things. Anyway, I just have all kinds of stuff that I've kind of built around this. So I have done a video like looky-loo, look in the book for this if you want to like flip through it. They do have, obviously this is BJU Press, so they have a distance learning option that your child can watch the video. I did not opt for that. I just am going to teach it with her, and this is going to be a one-on-one time with her. It's not going to be family studies. I haven't figured out exactly how that's all going to pan out because each of my students are going to be doing something a little bit different. But anyway, so that is what we're doing for history. And then for science, it's going to be a little bit of family school, but our first semester, our first 6 weeks is going to cover like plant life and how animals and plants depend on their habitat, and they all like coexist together. And so this is another Carson DeLosa resource. It's kindergarten level, but it's very transferable. And it's going to, I lost my train of thought because of a little interruption, but so this is pretty transferable for all of my kiddos. I also did a video, several years back about plant unit crafts and just kind of how you can build a whole plant unit. Believe it or not, I went back and I watched my own video with those examples of fun little like things that you can do to teach about what plants need and how plants grow and the parts of a plant and like all that kind of fun stuff. So this is something that I'm going to be using with her. And then my son has his own book that is not Carson DeLosa, but as we do those studies, then he will do his level for 4th grade, and then she's got her level here, and then my youngest is going to be doing his level, which will probably coincide pretty well with what she's doing there. So if you can believe it, that covers all of her like seat work stuff. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, we do have other electives and other things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing cooking this year. We're going to be doing drawing. And then she's got her out of the home thing this year. She's going to do gymnastics. So I also think as a part of family studies, we'll do just like general health, because as my own personal health and wellness journey moves forward and I learn about all of the different food groups and eating the rainbow, my program has a attachment or like a little addendum for kids and how you can teach kids about eating the rainbow and the importance of nutrition. So I'm going to incorporate that as a part of her studies as well, with another resource that I have. So I will talk about that more in depth when we get to the family studies video, but that pretty much covers all of her independent work. Again, check the description box below and I will put links for all of the information and the resources that I have here. Some of them are affiliate links, but that doesn't cost you anything extra. If you're unfamiliar with affiliate links, it's just like a referral link. So because I mentioned them here and that's how you wanted to learn about it, then they give me a percentage of your purchase. So there's that little disclaimer. Anyway, we are excited about the school year starting, and make sure that if you haven't subscribed and you're interested in following along in our journey and kind of seeing how things unfold, I invite you to subscribe, and then you can watch as our homeschool life launches here in the next couple days. So anyway, thanks so much for watching another one of my videos, and we'll catch you later.